Hello. Good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Sunday is upon us. We are here. Let's do this. Sunday. Oh, I'm already so ill prepared. Wrong scene and everything. Nope, totally oversight on my part. Don't know what I'm doing. Making it up as I go along. Daz, Matthias, Quacko, Haran, Julian. Hello, hello, hello. It is slightly less warm, yes. In fact, actually, no. The fan has gone from my room. One of the kids has pinched it. Hello, hello, hello. I'm glad you are enjoying the channel. G'day. Down under? Maybe? Yes? Yeah, I mean, keep it short. Hash define main. Do the old SDL trick. Okay, so gonna launch into this. You gotta just keep at it. Just keep going. Like, the only way you get the skills is by practice. Feel free to hop along to the Discord and ask for some support or ask some questions. We're more than happy to help. Hello, hello, hello. Right, let's now we're in the code view. So, quick recap of last time. We did another mechanic. Again, not really a level, more of a just like proving out a mechanic. I want to do, much like last stream, I want to spend the first part of this stream doing a small mechanic, and hopefully it won't take the whole stream, but if it does, it does. It's a lot of Vulkan. Too much Vulkan for me. Can't be dealing with that. Okay, so if this barrel intersects with the regular, it's hard to do without them both intersecting, but basically if either of the barrels intersect this grey one, then the level restarts, which is where we got to last time, which is pretty sweet. So now I want to do something totally different. Again, whole new mechanic, just to see how it works. Which means things on buzzers. I need new fruit, preferably something I can spell. And please abstain if you've already named a fruit before. But I've not been keeping track, so it's going to be a gentleman's agreement that you are not going to do that. Papaya. Okay, off we go. Let's do it. Oh, too late. Too late. Just first on YouTube was papaya. Daz, you're doing too much due diligence. You just got to shout fruit first and hope it's not on the list. I think that's the only way to do it. If you stop and ask what we've already had, papaya has already come out. Copy assets level. I think pear was the last one, so that's probably the most. Because the problem is, as we increase and change the C++ integration, older levels effectively become desynchronized and broken. So we'll need to go back and refresh them all at some point. But I'm just going to keep building on what we've got, and then we'll take something small amount of time to kind of resync them all in. So let's go for level papaya. Actually want that in. Actually, I still probably want that in assets, I reckon. Papaya. Watch me misspell that several times. It's gonna be a fun one. Okay. So. Assets level papaya. Okay, so let's break this down to, I want one object that moves and one target. So very similar to Apple, I guess. We'll have level barrel 1, barrel 2. We'll get rid of the other two barrels. I kind of forgot what colors we've already gone for. So let's keep this one as... let's do... I think we need G and B. I don't think we've had as a combo. G and B, and we'll tint that half. And then... Where's the update? Update level barrels 1 will just move with us regular speed. That's all we want. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. And then if they become close, then we'll call it quits. So let's go over to game. Have I lost YouTube or people just being quiet? Nope, people just being quiet. That's okay. Game levels. There's my list of levels. Level. Papaya. Yeah, I know. I need to just configure ClangD to be like. No, I wonder if I could just uninstall it in Mason. I don't know. Where do I set the first level? Does it just loads it automatically? Okay, fine. So this should load the new level. My current thinking is, sticking with barrels, is to have a unique color per like core mechanic, and then combine them in like we've had green before. Okay, I'll go and change that. Why is that green anyway? Was it more of like a? It's not what I was expecting. Anyway, my plan is to have like a unique and easily identifiable color for each mechanic. Obviously, there are loads and loads of shades of green, so they would have to be probably like maybe like light, medium, and dark for each of like a bunch of easily recognizable colors, which should give us enough variation. But then when we combine them, you get like stripes on them. So for instance, the mechanic that a thing happens when you look at it could be one color, and then the mechanic where the thing moves with you is another color. So then those would be striped or checkered. So in my mind, then you start learning these patterns, and when you see it, you'd be like, ah, okay, fine. I know that this is this combination of mechanics. That's what I'm thinking at the moment, because we'll just run out of unique colors, or the colors will start getting too close to each other if we allow every single barrel mechanic to have a unique color. So that's what I'm currently thinking. But I don't know. I'm just making up as I go along. Pap. Oh no, fine. I just did select that. What am I doing? Could do for a delightful azure, which is 0, 1, a half 1. That'll do. Cyan. The wrong barrel is moving. It's not a command. It's never going to work for me. Oh, there's a Nightbot. There's a Nightbot command for that on YouTube. Bleh. Okay, fine. Nice. I've forgotten what the command is though, so someone will have to look it up. It might be bang GitHub. Ah, well done. There you go. There we go. Okay, so that works. Ship it. No, I think it's GitHub. I think Nightbot is just waking up from its deep slumber. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so I want to expose a new thing from the Lua today, which I think could be fun. So let me just, I had this idea the other day, in between last stream and this stream. I have no idea how easy it is. In my mind, it's going to be easy, which means it's going to take at least a whole stream and not work till right at the end. But we have this concept of a scene. We also have the ambient light. So what I want to do is have the Lua code. Sorry, hay fever is absolutely chronic. I want the Lua code to be able to say what the ambient light should be, and then I want to tie that to the barrel position. So as the barrel gets, say, I don't know, further or closer to the target, the lighting changes. I think that might be fun. So something else to kind of think about, like if you let something get too far away, maybe it gets too dark to see, so you have to kind of plan that in. I think it could be fun. And then I thought of a further mechanic where the RGB maybe depend on the individual like distances along the different axes. Yeah, I've done the first two of those. I'm hitting the first two hard. I've not gone for the nasal spray yet, but I'm not. Maybe we'll see. But it's just like my eyes are just like on stalks. So let's go to bring up our papaya, and let's do something like function get ambient level ambient get ambient, and then this will return vector 3 because I've still not patched in the color. Let's do it darker than what we've already got to kind of check that this is working. And then because not every Lua script might want to expose this, we need to also probably extend the Lua script to be able to query if a function exists and then take that functionality on it. Unless we want every Lua script just to expose an ambient light. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. I haven't decided yet. For now, we'll keep it simple. Yes, indeed. Ambient. So let's do... Have I got a script runner at this point? I'm in the machine. Okay, cool. So let's do const auto ambient vec, which is not great, but it is what it is. Runner dot execute vector 3. Get there in a minute. Vector 3 get ambient. And then this can just be... I don't think I have a conversion between the two. So R equals ambient.x dot G equals ambient.vec dot Y, and RG dot B equals ambient.vec dot Z. Let's see if that blends. Looks the same to me. Something HDR? Do I need like a more extreme value? Like, it didn't die, but what if I have like 0 ambient? My lighting wrong. I'd expect with 0 ambient. Oh, because I've got direction light as well, haven't I? I wonder if that's part of the problem. So that's going to uniformly light everything. So once we turn this off for now. You have to break out render dock already. Can never be a quick, simple feature, can it? Okay, that's more what I expected. I mean, ignoring the 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 skybox. Again, this is not going to be perfect now. I'd want to just kind of prove it out and then Emery, hello. So we're probably going to need get direction light as well. And then this can return whatever we had before, which was vector 3. Const auto direction light direction light color equals runner dot execute vector 3 get direction light. So basically what we're going to do is I'm just going to unpack both of those because we support multiple returns from Lua to C++. We'll just unpack both of those, and then this just becomes a case of direction light and the color becomes dot r equals direction light color dot x rg b, and then this becomes ry rz, and then Clang format will just pretty that up for me. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we should hopefully have the same thing as before. Yeah, I think there's going to be loads. We're going to be burning streams, I think, on tweaking light values to get kind of an aesthetic that we like. I am running WSL. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's moody. Right, so now what I want to do, now all I have to do is kind of figure out in my head what I want. So this here, we should be able to get the, so let's not do that. Let's do distance equals, how do we do distance? It's just a free function that we have. So probably d then equals distance barrels 1 dot position barrels 2 dot position. Okay, so that will give us the distance in it. So now we should be able to take our color value and scale that based on the distance between them, but I want it to go between some like known bounds. So as you get closer, say within like 10, it should be like fully white, and then maybe like when you get, I don't know, 20 away, it should be pitch black, minus the lights we've already got. So color equals 1.0. Okay, and then if d is greater than, I don't know what, 50.0, then color equals 0.0. I feel like there's probably a better way of doing this, but this is, I'm just kind of thinking out loud. Else color equals 1 over so I want it to be when it's closer to 0, when I need the color number to be larger, smaller it gets. So is that 50 over D? No, you're right. Yes, 1.0 minus 1.0 over D. That's it, isn't it? How am I coding in Lua and CPU at the same time? Carefully. I've embedded a Lua engine into the C++ code, so the C++ code loads Lua and runs it and can interact with it. It's not great. It's not. The value's just too big. I've got no sense of scale. Like, what is 50? Do you know what I mean? Nope, that is absolutely not what I wanted to do at all. Why did I do that? That was stupid. I think I've got a button that fixes that. I do. Nearly fixes it. As if moving the WSL window would somehow change the position of the game when it was launched. Amateur hour. It's been a long weekend. Oh my goodness. Windows. Bugger off. I've literally lost it. Oh. It's a nice feature, but it's like, can you somehow figure out when I want it and when I don't want it? Steady, stay on target. Why is it only printing it? Oh, interesting. It's only printing it once when it sets up the scene. That makes sense. So let's go back. This needs to now do this on update. And this update function is getting big. Right, okay, so get the script runner. Update, we should probably do it after we've updated all the positions. So we'd update everything, decide, because if something reverts, we don't want the light to flicker. So we'll settle that, and then also restart, we'll need to reset it if you lose the level. I'm trying to remember that. Let's put this here. And then we can do scene.ambient equals. I want basically these two, right? Nope. That's kept all that white space at the end. Might need that. Okay, let's do ink 94, and then wherever we were before. Okay. Dot close that off. Okay. Let's try that. We're not using a graphics library. We're using OpenGL, but everything we've written our own renderer on top of that. It's a very basic renderer. It's not particularly exciting. Fine. Oh, I think I'll and shelf. That's over 50. So why is it? Oh, it's getting a little bit darker. We need to stretch that out way more. Also, it's going the wrong way. I want it to get darker the further away you go. So that's probably going to have to be 1.0 over D, but I suspect we're going to need to scale that. Because as D gets smaller, that will get bigger, which makes sense. Let's just try that. There's a little bit of an annoying shelf there, but I think it's kind of what I want. I wonder if I just don't even need this. It'll just get infinitely smaller. I might be able to just add like a constant to it. Yeah, okay, so yeah, we could print, let's do that as well, just get an idea of what we're dealing with here. To be honest, again, like I just want to get the mechanics in place. The fine tweaking of the values to make it fun is definitely in the not too distant future. We need to get this tested out first. So we start for 10 distance, and then this is where we pass 50. I think we just need to like scale these values a lot more. Yeah, the next level's broken. I also want to try something fun. To be honest, I'm kind of happy. I'm probably going to leave this here because I just wanted to do the plumbing for it. What does this look like? Yes, that's what I was looking for. You do get that little color shift there. It definitely needs to be scaled out more. Because what I was thinking is, what happens? What about a future mechanic where the ambient light is part of the mechanic? What was if another barrel? What was rather than the level, another barrel changes color when you move? So you have to get to a point where you are a certain distance, or something is a certain distance away, such that it is the right color for you to intersect it with. I think that could be fun as well. So again, I just want to kind of play around with this, but you can definitely see it going back to normal there. And then we just lose all the red out of the scene as we go along. So what was it we want to do? 1 over 1 plus... Do I have... Does Lua have E? I assume that's the E is in the natural log. Where? How does one... Oh, you can use exponential. I can do log. Oh yeah, let's just do exp. So do I have to do maths.exp? So math.exp. And you were suggesting minus D. I assume you meant, when you said V, I assume you meant D. Something like that. I'm going to just trust the random maths of people on the internet. It's much better than my maths. You should see me try to write the matrix class. I'm not convinced I've done this right. It's been pretty high. Let's just revert it for now because I'm kind of happy with what we've got. We'll comment this up and then we want to move on to... I want to move on to the next thing. Because I'm keen that... nice. Okay, I like that. I think that's fine. I think that's a good place to experiment with. Just add integrate lights with Lua. Git add -f. Yes, I agree. We should think. We shall think about it. Git add that. I prefer doing this in Vim anyway. Add papaya level. Okay, so I am acutely aware that this code so far has only run on my machine, and whilst I am kind of making the game for myself, it would be nice if other people had a chance of playing it. So I want to progress this towards a part where we can get this bundled up so other people can start playtesting it, even though it's not great. Like I still need to test out whether the windowing code works and whether it works with different graphics cards and all this and different versions of Windows, and I'm sure someone's going to try and run it under Wine and all this sort of gubbins. So we need to get there. So there's kind of yeah, exactly, yes, exactly. But there's nothing to ship at the moment. So there's basically two problems. There's 2 and a bit problems to solve in my mind. One is there is no concept of packaging at all in our build system, which is easy to solve with CPack. So we'll make it. Well, sorry, there's 3 and a bit problems. One is that we have no way of packaging it, which is fine. 2 is we have no concept really of a release build. We've never tried it, so there's certain things we need to set up. We want to disable logging or selectively enable logging for like release builds with logging and stuff like that. There's build configuration stuff we need to do. And the other is asset packing. I haven't checked the license of the assets I've paid for, but as far as I'm aware, they do allow for commercial use, but I don't think I can just ship them. I want them all, but I basically want everything all bundled into a single executable, which means probably using a Windows resource to pack in the TLV buffer, but the TLV buffer, which is our format for our custom format for resources, is massive. So it needs compression on that first. So there's a whole host of stuff there. And the bit on the end is I kind of want to integrate it nicely into Discord so that my absolute dream is something make file, end of a stream, we go, oh, I go, hopefully not you, hopefully not on my machine. I do something like make release, and then it instantly gets built, pushed somewhere, and then there's a Discord notification, and people can come along and have a play, and there'll be an area where you can put some feedback and say what works, what doesn't work, and that kind of thing. So that's kind of and crash reporting, yes. So I guess we can round that up to 4 things. So there's actually quite a lot to get through. So I'm going to start trying to get through that now. So I'm going to start with CPack because I've used it before, but not in a while. So that'll be fun. Let's try and figure this out. So the idea of CPack is it's a part of CMake, kind of like CTest, which will package everything up. So we should be able to use that to produce a zip file, like a versioned zip file of our game. So it shouldn't really do much more than that because we're going to be bringing the resources along with us. But I think it's kind of a good thing to have in case we need extra stuff bundling along with it, like maybe, I don't know, EULAs or other license agreements or whatever. So the first thing, ooh, steady. That was my secret window that I have off screen. I'm not doing a good, not doing a good stream today. So yes, we'll also, so MSVC does allow you to statically link in the C++ libraries. So we need to change all that. That I consider that part of the configuration step as well, where we need to start statically bundling things. My goal is to have everything as self-contained as possible. That's kind of the dream. So literally there's one executable file, which storage space is cheap, right? So it just has everything in it, and you double click it and it runs. It would just link against the system UCRT, I imagine. What am I doing? CPack. Yeah, so CPack is a tool that allows you to package stuff up. And the first thing I need to do is where does this live? So what you can have, CMake can generate you a header file, which is going to be really important for us, which embeds the version number of the program. At the moment, we're stuck on 0.0.1. The idea is that every time we want to do optimistic, every time we want to do a build, well, the worst comes to the worst, we can just tack on a zip file with the resources at the end, or just tack it on at the end, because then the exe just doesn't have to worry about how big it is, because you just map that file in, seek to the end, read the last 4 bytes, which will be an offset, and go back to that. It's not portable. I think that's how Love does it. I think Love tacks on the engine onto the end of the executable, because Love games, or Love 2D games, are all single executables. There's many ways around this. But I'm hoping it won't be too big. Or we just bring them all along in a static file. Again, all promised to be solved later. Regardless, I need to write some code. So this, in theory, we should increment at the end of each, whenever we want to do a build, and then we can get CMake to generate a header file with this in it, which means then when we log, for instance, be like, you're running this version. It'll just help with like crash reports and logging and stuff like that, so we know what version people are playing with. So the first thing to do is that. So we need to source CMake lists. We need to write ourselves a special little file that we can do, and I've got an example of it somewhere from a previous project. I just cannot find it right this very moment. Okay, so let's do source. I'm going to call it config, because I think there might be other stuff we want to bring along with it. Yeah, we could just chat today. Is auto-incrementing the version possible? I don't think so, because it is a file that's checked into Git, which would necessitate a Git command to change. We could probably script it potentially. It might be nice if we might have like a tag. Can you have like a tag hook in Git? So when I tag the end of the stream, it might automatically be able to kick off the increment build, check it in, although then that would change the tag point. I don't know. I'm not too fussed about doing per compilation. I'd rather do per stream, because then that way in my mind I know what, if someone has like a version that's two things old, I can kind of go back through the streams in my head and go, well, what do we do? Or I can look back through the code. Yeah, I think these are all nice to haves. Like at the moment, let's just get it building first. I'm going to call it config .h, because game.h already exists, and there's other stuff we might want to include. So this is going to be like a template for a header file that CMake, I guess, will configure for us and generate and put in the build directory. So this will never be checked into Git, but when you build it, it should pick it up from the build directory, in theory. Yeah, I kind of like just like a make file or a batch file or something, which is like go do the things that I've been talking about, and it goes off and does it. So we can do like, so agent, and then this will be game. So in fact, actually, I don't need to hash define it, do I? We like const static const expra auto g, I guess. In fact, we put this in the name in this space game. Does it need to be inline? Const expra implies inline, right? So actually, we'll just call this like. Actually, I don't like g. Let's do. Sorry, figuring out a lot of this as I go along. Version, and then we can have major equals game version major. All right, don't want any of those stinking hash defines here. So this will then when it generates, takes this as an input file, it will then substitute this for the various CMake bits that we control. And then yeah. Oh, I don't like how I need to. How do I disable clang format? Clang format should not be touching these lines at all. They'll be laid out in a very specific way. Clang format off. Clang format off. Clang format on. Oh, absolutely hate that. Okay, fine. Oh, so very pedantic about that space. But then I guess so am I with comments. So who's to argue? And then minor, and then Semver is kind of weird for a release executable because what does a breaking change mean when it's like it makes sense for a library because other code depends on it, and then you're like, oh, I know that it's only a minor change, so it shouldn't have any. Shouldn't break any backwards compatibility. Oh, there's a major change, so I know that the API will have changed. What does it even mean for an executable? I don't know. More of a philosophical question for you. But we have the information, so we'll bring it all in. Okay. And then we could potentially stringerize these as well so they're easier to work with, but I think for now that's probably is kind of enough to get us going. So let's do VS source CMake. I'll find out how we do this. So probably, I don't know, here. So you should be able to configure file, and then I think I need to give like pretty strict paths for this. Source source slash config.h.in, and then this goes to project. Oh, unless I. Oh no, wait a minute. I don't think it does go into build directories because that doesn't make any sense. I think it has to go into my directory, but I create a git ignore to ignore it so that we don't ever check it in. Whatever. See if it blends. Hello, computer? Computer? Hello? Hello? Everyone having a good Sunday? Is this what you came for? This is sure as what you got. Board. Let's try, it says CPU's always spinning. Okay, so now in theory we should have e source conf. Okay, where? Where'd it go? it passed, like CMake ran, and then nothing happened. CMake configure file not working. Can't be the only person who's had this problem. Blah, 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 blah. I think that's right. I'd expect it to error out. I'm missing a second project source. Interesting. It's banned GitHub, by the way. Nope, it's banned code. It turns out I don't know what I'm talking about. Could be one level up with it. Let's do find type f name config.h. Oh, it's done it now. Okay, it was the missing slash. Config.h. So here you go. Okay, so this has now generated this file for us, which is nice. There's other stuff I think we can do custom defines as well in there. So it might be that we can do something like enable logging or log to file, or sorry, have a CMake argument which is like log to file or log to whatever, and then that would end up in this config which we can then query. Which means now, in theory, what we should be able to do is go to game and then include this config, and then wherever our mains. Sorry, not here at all, not even here. How do I do the first log? Alright, okay. It's been a while since we looked in main. Okay. So now we can do something like starting game dot and then have here game version major, game version minor, game version patch. I can't write text to screen. I'm not sure I follow. Oh, as in like, no, I don't have text rendering yet. So yeah, we could put it in the window title, possibly. Although we already override that, so we'd have to kind of figure that out. But let's just see if this works. Shoot, did I leave all that logging in, or did I remove it? I guess we'll find out. Yeah. No, not yet. Text rendering. Oh. It's a future me problem. Future us problem. I did leave that logging in. That's great. Here you go. Right. Okay. So at least we got that. So now, again, this is kind of part of the thing. We can make sure we track this a little bit better. We go and remove this. I think it was the last commit, so I think it's an easy amend. It was. Cool. Okay. Okay, let's commit that because I think that's a pretty good. So pretty good starting point. So add config.h gen. Oh, and actually as well. Oh shoot! I did exactly what I said I didn't want to do, which was check it in, didn't I? Let's reset mixed to here. And then do e source dot git ignore.h and then do config.h. And now when I go to lazy git, why is that not being ignored? Surely the git ignore doesn't. Oh, git ignore.h. Yeah, yep. Sorry, got C++ on my mind. Bang move source dot. Okay, it's the heat source dot. I like to think at that point, someone new to the stream logged on, saw me name a git ignore file incorrectly, and immediately logged off. I don't know if they did, but I like to think in my headcanon that was a defining moment for someone's experience of this game. And then they'll see it on Steam at some point and be like, that's the guy who doesn't know how git ignore files work. No, I don't want. I want to keep the .in file because from a fresh checkout, I always want to be able to configure it. I just don't want to check in the configuration file. Sorry, the configured file, because that will change. This needs to remain part of the code so that whenever we build it, we make sure we generate the header file. That makes sense. So now, discard. There we go, right. Okay, so add that, add that, add that, add that, and then do add config.hgen. Probably should have a comment in there saying something like auto generated code. Actually, that's a misleading comment because then you'd get to this file and be like, this is an auto-gen. I'd need the comment to be in there only on the auto-gen one, but whatever. It doesn't matter, it's not tracked in. You can try and crack the copyright protection. I think you'll struggle because I probably won't put any in. Like, what is the point? What is the point for this game? I don't think the intellectual property is so great that it is worth me spending any time trying to protect it. You'll have whatever Steam gives you, and that'd be it. So, best of luck. I'm worried. What have you clipped? Like, what did I miss? Oh, I'm sure I'll see it later. Okay, so now we've got that. What's next? So now I actually need to do the CPack stuff. Oh, the misname again. Great. Preserve that forever. Can you still give out Steam keys? Because I quite like that. I quite like the idea of doing that. Yes, it's true. Technically, this could hold anything. So I am. What does that mean? It's because excellent point. I've used auto here just purely for muscle memory. What does that mean? We can puzzle that out. That means I'm relying on CMake to always return an integral type with this substitution. I think that is a fair assumption. Oh, okay, fine. Interesting. Shows how much games I play. I play a bit of Factorio. We could use this to also convert them to string or string views and then concatenate them, but I think we're right here. I think this is okay for now. If we are habitually having to convert these to strings, then we'll do that. That's a good point. Like, it's always good to kind of puzzle these things out. You should always challenge me because I'm often wrong. So do challenge me, force me to kind of defend my position a bit. Yes, this is it. Like, I sometimes, because I get like, I was sort of chatting with my wife about this earlier. I'm pretty buzzed after a stream. Like I enjoy it. It's really fun. It's exciting, and then I can just not go to sleep afterwards. I kind of need to wind down for a bit. So Factorio normally frustrates me to the point where I feel like I need to then go to bed. So there's Factorio and a beer is my kind of post-stream ritual at the moment, and hanging around on Discord, which you should come along to if you're not, because it's great. Okay, right. So CPack. Let's pack this up. So I think I need to do back to the root CMake project, and then I think I need to do include. By the way, I am not the best at CMake. Do tell me if I'm not doing this like the most efficient way. This is just kind of how I have done it before, but might not be right. Also, I don't know, for those of you who enjoy shorts, I have chronically fallen behind. I was doing a short a day, and that was actually, whilst it's not a lot of effort, it's still quite a lot. It's still. Let me start again. I was doing a short a day. It is not a huge amount of effort, but it is not zero effort, and I'm really like deep in the bowels of the next video technical content at the moment, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So any spare time I've got, I've been throwing at that like wholeheartedly, because it is a much bigger project than I thought it was going to be, which should make for a really interesting video. But it just means I just cannot, even the hour it would take me to cut up some shorts, is not best use of my time for the moment. So I'm taking a bit of a break from shorts. Although I was getting quite good returns on it, I just need to focus my time. Yeah, I want to package it up. I kind of like to use the tools we've got. I don't think we're going to need to package anything other than the release and maybe the PDB. I don't know for the moment. But I want to kind of get it all integrated. And again, if anyone's never used this before, it should be an interesting insight into how, an alternative of doing these things. I played a lot of Civ 4. I really liked Civ 5. I didn't really get into 6, and I've not even tried 7. So I think we're going to do set CPack package name game, set CPack package version. I think we can just do project version. And then set CPack generator zip. Let's try that. Yeah, like again, this is just one of the problems that we're just gonna have to solve, and I want to do it live, is like, how do you actually ship it? I think it's great to kind of mess around with an engine or OpenGL or whatever and get something up on the screen and running around, but like, so when I used to work in a like software delivery shop, it always used to be like the last 20% takes 80% of the time. Like, doing all the work is fine, but actually putting it in a box, putting a nice bow on it, and like getting out the door is an unbelievable amount of effort. And we're just going to have to fix that because we don't have Unreal or Unity or Godot or anything like that to kind of do it all for us. Okay, so CMake build that, rebuild this. It's going to be whack-a-mole, absolutely. Is the game done? No, but it is at a point where I would like to get it into the hands of some people to try at least what we've got so far. And so for that, I want to I think it's worth putting in the effort now to do some packaging up, regardless of what that looks like at the end. So I think you can just do CPack dot. Great. What is this? I don't want. Oh, that's the install system. I don't want that. I just wanted to package up my. How have I done this before? How does one? I also think it's wrong. I think I need to set these before I include it. Oh, know what we're doing today. This is easily solvable with the bash file, but again, I like to use the tools we've got. Here we go. Here we go. You have to set the arguments before you include the thing, obviously. Okay. That was ls. So what do I want? Do I have DTRX installed? User bin. My path is wrong. What was it called? Game. If you've never used it, DTRX is an incredible Linux tool called Do the Right Extraction. You basically, if you can never remember like the tar flags, like I can, you just do DTRX and then a archive file, and then it will figure out what the correct commands are for what you actually want it to do, and then do it. It's DTRX changed my life. Okay, well, I mean that's all my code. That's why have I seeded into that? That was stupid. I don't want to ship that. That's my precious source code. Ah, thank you. Thank you for linking it. So let's CPack only package build artifacts. Is it? Do I just need the standard example? Simple example. Oh, and he said it's an install target, of course. Yes, well done. So that's actually going to be in CMake. I do have an example of this as well. Yeah, I think I need to do somewhere down here. Install target game. What's your example do? Targets. Game runtime destination build? No, that's where it's going to install it to, isn't it? Which might just be enough. I'm not expecting someone to do make install on this afterwards, but it might be enough that CPack then picks it up. Given unknown target. Oh, it's because I spelled it wrong. Shocker. One for your bingo cards. Okay, so CPack dot. What's it doing? I think it's the WSL file IO maybe. I don't know. Okay, so rmrf game dat and ttrx game zip. Oh, because my part. I don't know why. I don't know why my path is messed up. That is. Ignore that bit. Tree. So what's in it? Has it got the build directory though? Ah, here you go. Right. So this has got bin game, which is fine. How do I get to not include the source? So I think I need to set another install target for that. There you go. So that is set CPack source ignore files build. Okay, let's do this. Build and CPack dot. Ugh. I am the worst. Cole, glad you're here. Glad you found them. Hope you're enjoying it. The streams are slightly different to the videos. This is more forward engineering than reverse engineering, but it's still pretty low level, and we have a good time. I'm not having a good time right now, but by and large, I have a good time. there's a lot of process today. We're heavy on the process. Right. That didn't work. Oh. So in fact, I want source then, don't I? I want source.star. Don't include anything in that. And then as well, don't include anything in third party. Right? And in tests and in tools. So this is a brand new game. I want to make, the aim is to make a simple puzzle game entirely from scratch, or as much from scratch as possible, in C++ and OpenGL, and now a bit of Lua as well. We've allowed ourselves to use a little bit of stuff off the shelf, like a physics engine and some image format passing code. But by and large, we've done our own rendering, we've done our own event handling, we've done our own renderer. That kind of thing. The game might not be great, but it will be entirely written live. Every line of code for the first release will be written entirely live. That's the plan anyway. And we're about 50, 53, 50, I think this is the 54th stream. I reckon we are approximately, very roughly about halfway through. We are at we are at 6,267 lines of code, which is not bad. For what we've got, I don't think it's too bad. This all needs to be like a make file or something at some point as well, so I don't have to keep typing it out. But for now, let's just get it working. Yeah, we made a lot of progress very quickly at the start when we were like doing the rendering and the OpenGL and the event handling and getting the renderer done, and then it supports HDR and stuff like that, and that's slowing down a little bit, so we're starting to add game mechanics. Mother flipper. Where's this include coming from? This must be from the build. This must be from the build directory though, because we don't have any of these files checked out. So I think we do also want builds, don't we? And someone thinks we might be able to drop those asterisks as well. Let's just see if we can get this working first. Nope, not that one. Differing opinions here. We'll see. We will eventually reach a correct solution. Maybe not be the most correct, but an correct solution. Okay, blow that away, and then redo it. Tree that. Well, it hasn't got my code in it, right? I can't see anywhere in here my code. Nice, cool. Sounds cool. Just general include and libs, but I don't have that here, so it must be contained. I guess the question is what is the root that this is running from? I'm just gonna keep adding stuff to the works. Like this is not glamorous. I think there's some other suggestions as well that people have had that I need to have a look at as well. I don't know, it's still cool to get involved with what other people are doing. That's why I quite enjoy doing the live streaming. It's whatever game we produce it's everyone's fault. We're all equally liable for whatever mess we produce here. What's in the dirt after build? Yeah, we'll have a look at that afterwards. Okay, so still getting all this stuff. All right, depths. What's in here? So but all these files should be depth, right? So let's just find, like, where's gtest dash find type f name, what do we call it, like gtest-port.h, gtest-port.h. Where's that? Oh, loads of places. And let's just satisfy ourselves that it is indeed only in this directory. So if we start from the root of the project, it's still only in build. Oh, actually, we don't have to worry about that because those are the ones we've unpacked. Yeah, it might be underscore depths. I feel like a lot of this is coming from. Is it coming from where you run it from? I feel like this feels a little gross now. Like, I feel like there should be a more structured way of saying these things that you are aware of, don't include them. Like, don't include the dependencies, don't include the source files, don't include this, rather than saying here's a bunch of random paths I'd like you to kindly ignore. Daniel, you're welcome. I'm glad you had some success. Do feel, if you're interested in sharing or getting some help or advice, do feel free to come along to the Discord. Yeah, good job. Nice. I like it. That's the whole point of the videos. The whole point of the videos is they're not tutorials. They're just to entertain and inspire and show, kind of get people interested in lower level computing stuff. Where's bin though? Like, where is it construct that from? So bin is here, right? So it's including this, and then where's? Oh my goodness! Is it like got some sort of weird self-referential? Get rid of that. Does that come back if I build the CPack here? That's an awful lot of wild characters. Do not care for this. I think this might be the culprit. What is underscore CPack packages, and can it not? It's a CPack temporary directory. I just feel like it's got to be stupid if it includes its own nonsense in there. I never had this problem before. When I did it before, I never. But I was bundling the source code, so I wonder if that's the issue. But I never had this problem. I've used fetch content before, and I've never had this issue. So I don't know why this is suddenly rearing its head. Part of me thinks I've got the install command wrong. Like, everything should be built and linked statically. Fine, I guess I'll do it, but like I'm not particularly happy about it. CPack packages. CPack packages. Yeah, I only want to target the exported. I only want to target the actual built target. What does the Oracle say? So example. It has a manual list of things it excludes, but like it doesn't go to this sort of length. So install target app, destination component applications, and then set pack archive. Set pack components all. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a second. Yeah, this is winding me up now. Okay, so the suggestion is on the install targets. I don't think we want a runtime, right? I don't think. And then what, we give it a component application, and then we have some other magical set CPack archive component install all set CPack archive, no, CPack components and all application. really didn't think this was going to take this long. Yeah, I want to get better at CMake anyway, so this is sort of an excuse to do that as well. But it is frustrating. Previous line all to on. Okay. Right, let's try that. Probably not. I think we're there. Oh, what's installing another bullshit now? Steel's getting worse all the time. Okay, that's generated. Well, I now have more. I guess they are dependent on that application. List of CMake scripts that execute after CPack has produced the resultant packages and before copying them back to the build directory. I don't understand. Gosh darn it, I hate this. Oh, good point. Okay. Let's get rid of all those. CPack pre-built. I just feel like this is far too complicated. Well, now I have this, so there's that. It's empty, so there's almost exactly the right number of files now. Cool, thanks Cole. See you soon, come along, do join by the Discord. I feel like I'm like CPack only executable. There's got to be CPack builds too much. Do we now think we need to get rid of all this? So if I get rid of all this governance, right? Where do we end up? I'm just trying to generate a zip. That's all I'm trying to do. I want what would take me 2 seconds in a make file, I'm going to spend the rest of the stream doing because I'm now stubborn and determined to do it. I want to be able to type CPack dot, and I want to take the things that I care about, which in this case is just the executable, and stick it in a zip file. I really don't think that's too much to ask. Where'd that? Oh, hang on. Why is it? Where's it going? I I'm trying to get better at CMake, and I think that involves kind of learning a bit more about the other things it offers. Whether this is right or wrong, I don't know, but I feel like this is the right choice for an integrated solution, and for me to try and push my CMake knowledge a little bit. I'm clearly wrong because it's not working. It's 22 bytes, so it's empty. We all came here to learn more about CMake. I'm gonna. The problem is, I don't want to give up because like this is clearly a solvable problem, which I've said several times now, and clearly it's not. Set CPack include. So do we think that along with all these other magical flags that I've set? I still think I want to run CPack. I'll try that in a second. Let's. No, this is still tight. So we think what? CMake build dot target package. I don't think I've set up that, have I? Ooh. I was doing something. I think that just runs CPack for you under the hood, right? Which actually might be nice because it means I don't have to keep doing that and thing, but it's still this tiny file. Okay, let's go back and remove some of the other magical things we've got. So we think this is our magical one line. Okay, we're back to here, and we got this up. It still seems big though. Which one did I want? I want this one. Three. Yeah, it's. I do not know why it says that. That is a good point. I think there's some other flat. I think I can put like a description or something. This, but none of the rest. Where's this all coming from? I feel like actually this is progress because having this means it's not including our source. I didn't see our source code in there, so it's now just doing the dependencies. Oh yeah, okay, fine. So let's do where do you want to do that? Do you want to do that something like here? Can I just do get CMake property? Can I do that? Will that work? CMake skip package all dependencies. Okay, hang on. This. I'll try what you said in a second, but this seems like this might be one more time. So skip package all dependency. I want that on, presumably, if I want to skip it. Outrageous. Obviously, did not think this would take this long. Yeah, I don't know what this this is. Fix that later. There's some other stuff I think we need to do as well. I want it to have the version number in the zip as well, but I think that's this is pretty big. Nope, sad face. Okay, so components for CMake install. So what do we think? We think we were doing. Let's see, maybe. The new variable begins CMake. Oh, in here. Oh, it is CMake. Oh, interesting. Okay, fine. Something needs to be even further up, something like up here. Oh, it's already got the version there. Sorry, I missed that. I thought I had to do that myself. Yes, I wanted to include the name, but apparently that's already there. God, gosh, that's definitely the only. I'm just really struggling to understand why this is, and I will. I think out of sort of partially out of respect, well, out of respect to everyone's time and in the view of making progress, I will spend the rest of the stream doing this, and if we can't do it, first thing next stream, we'll just write make file and we'll pretend this never happened. But I feel compelled to understand this. And we've got some more, but I feel like we're just magically trying runes at the moment. Yeah, I'm not. So how do we list components? Someone was saying that. So get CMake property. Can I just shove that straight in a message? Like, what is it? Oh, it sticks it in a variable. Okay, fine. So I want to do get CMake. Put it over here. Get CMake. 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 Get CMake property comps components message fatal, oh, bit angry there, message hate the CMake syntax. I think that worked. Oh, back to that one apparently. Isn't that the name of the variable that gets CMake property sticks it into? Fatal comps. There we go. Oh, did I put fatal in the string? Oh, interesting. I thought that would have. Anyway, here we go. Unspecified async dev gmock gtest. I assume unspecified is my one. The install could very well be the problem. Targets, game, destination, bin. Do we not think that's correct? How do I set the components that I want to install then? Yeah, it is interesting that's not there. Here we go. Let's do set CPack components all like whatever this horrible unspecified is. Unspecified. Right, we've got 15 more minutes of this, roughly, ish, and then we'll give up. But I feel committed to trying now. At least we did some gameplay programming to start with before descending into this misery. Nice. Okay, that literally made no difference. Like, still got all this junk in it. So it's like it's not even trying. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's not even trying. And what if I just do gmock? What if I just say this is just gmock? Okay, fine. Unspecified is needed, but then. CMake owns my soul, so here we are. Yeah, I think that's. Okay. Now, you see, it's still including all the other stuff. I feel like there's a fundamental misunderstanding here somewhere of what's going on. Like, we know what the components are. Oh, hang on, wait a minute. I've had a thought somewhere. Right, hang on. Whoa. Okay, let's go up here. Okay. Where's Google Test? So let's do actually test. Why is right? Let's do make available. All right, and then do if not Google Test populated, fetch content populate Google Test, and then add subdirectory Google Test source dir Google Test binary dir exclude. I've had to do this before. Exclude from all. We'll manually populate the fetch content, and then we'll manually add the subdirectories, which is what the other one should do for us. But we'll say exclude from all. Could even work. Could even work. Oh. Is the problem not passing the generated config? CPack config? Possibly. Where was that? Is there a CPack config in the root directory? Sorry, in the build directory. Let me just check. Okay, fine. Do we need to make that CMake file? Or is it this one here? CPack config.cmake. CPack these variables should set in the CMake file. This is interesting. Okay, let me just. I think it's still including that, which is a shame. I thought that would have fixed it. Yeah, okay, fine. So we think we might need CPack config. I assumed doing the dot directory would search for the CPack config within here. That's fine. I want to just rerun that with the new settings. It's just frustrating. You know? It's just like, in my mind, this should work. I know you can say this about anything when it doesn't work, but in my mind, this should definitely work. And I was like, CPack, be super easy. We're in and out, 20-minute change, CMake, and we'll be done. And like, I'm probably doing this for nearly an hour now. Nah, still wanging them in there. I'll revert that in a minute. So we think the worked example just does the binary. Let's just go through and double check that. You have files or directories in your social CPack source ignore files to exclude these from the package. Yeah, okay, fine. That makes sense. I would rather do it in CMake lists, and I assume CMake lists is generating that CPack config file, but thanks for the clarification. I think I agree. The wording which suggests is with the separate package source make target. Interesting. So do we think if we move this up to literally after here, it might... Oh, hang on. Also, I think I want to make these private. I wonder if that's part of it as well. I wonder if it's saying, oh, these are public, so you need to bundle these along. Why would you want to rebuild so much stuff? Boring. Jolts the physics engine, but like it was literally building this a second ago, so it's a little bit terrifying. What did I... Is it that? Oh, I know why. It's because I had those public so that the library that we build from the game brings them along. Sorry, we build all the code into the library and have a very small executable just wraps and starts it because it's easier to test. Because I set that to private, it means the flags, the include flags won't pass on to the executable. We can fix that if we think that is the issue, but can't. I just don't understand how this is so tricky. Yeah, we can try it. I'm really not convinced this is it, but it's fine. It's easy enough to do. Just do that. Probably need it in the unit tests as well. Maybe. Might be alright. Let's just do that. Oh, we will, because it uses Lua. So the unit tests probably failed to build. Oh, and the resource pack was up. Oh yeah, okay, fine. CMake tools. Resource packer CMake. Libraries. I feel like I'm just kind of making quite arbitrary changes at the moment. Ooh, CPack-V, we could give that a try. Right, let me just revert this because I'm not convinced this is the change I want to make anyway. But I do like this. So there will be targets because they are built from other CMake files. So those CMake files, the third-party dependencies will have targets. I don't know why they're being included. And I don't know how to, like, it seems to be not easy for it to be like CPack exclude target. Oh, yeah, thank you. So let's do CPack-V dot. Not particularly illuminating. Yeah, that possibly. No, I don't think my neighbors. Yeah, they're not that loud, and they're far enough away that I don't think it would make a difference. So we tried doing that with the root level CMake. We have this here. We have exclude from all on the G test one, the Google test one, but it's still being included. I guess we could add it here, like set target properties gmock properties exclude from all. No, it basically says if they've not already been pre-populated, then populate it and do this, which I don't think make available does do. I think that's the paradigm. I could be wrong. No, it's still including it. Do we still need to go back to something we had, like set CPack source ignore files build, something like that? Oh, I can't make anything at this point. I can't make CMake work. I'll go for a little bit longer. Like just a few more minutes. Few more minutes. Indeed. This is just absolutely outrageous. I literally cannot understand. Where is this include directory come from? Everything is in include and lib, right? So find type D include, right? Oh. Is it just amalgamate? It can't be amalgamating all those include directories. I just. It is so complicated, and it shouldn't be, because this should be like the tool that you use, and you should just use the tool. I shouldn't have to have custom make files or any of that jazz. Like, I know it's what everyone does, but in my mind, I should just be able to use the tool, and it is incredibly frustrating. I mean, I'm trying to, but I'm not very good at it. I'm glad there's some positivity to come from this. How do I? Okay, hang on. Yeah, what happens if we try this? What happens if we try CMake install this prefix test? What happens if I try installing it? Like, right. So the problem is, all this stuff is being part of the install. So that's an easy way to narrow it down. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the case. It's this here. No, it's this here. This here is including everything in it. Yes, I'm fully coding inside the terminal. This is, yeah, it's part of the fun. Okay, I think the issue, right? So hopefully everyone understands that. What I did with there was I was like, if you were building something normally, you would do like make install, right? So CMake -- install does whatever the install step is for your underlying build system, and I've just said install it locally into test, right? So if we had shipped this and built it and installed it, we would have all this. So I don't care about what CPack is doing. I care about install is doing. So now this narrows down the problem space. So we like CMake don't install source, something like that. How to prevent CMake from installing no. Don't install include. So is this add subdirectory? So why is this not working? Right now I am bashing my head against CMake trying to get to do something. Hopefully someone will someone will tell you what that is in a second. 5 more minutes. I feel like it's close. So hang on. CMake only install binary. I don't know why this. I don't know why this is bringing everything along with it, basically. I don't know why this is installing it as well. Because you should see in here, in the install, it should have created this bin directory and it's put it in, and then it's still including everything else. It could be to do with that. Everything seems to suggest that this here is the executable only. Install targets installs the binary files corresponding to targets built inside the project. So there's literally if you want to do anything else, you have to have like install files. If I got like a we're gonna have to watch all this build, I'm afraid. Do it. Do the Nando's. Do the cheeky 10 past 10 at night Nando's. Found those threads. It's found threads. Don't worry, guys. CMake. Found threads. I don't know what it's doing with the threads, but it sure has found them. Hope it finds those sys types. Yeah, I mean, no one is productive when they start Vim. The only way to become productive in Vim is to keep using Vim. Like that's unfortunately just the way it is. All right, let me just do CMake build bang. It's found all the types. It's got every single type. It's found them all. Not a single type has escaped it. I just cannot understand why install targets is bringing in source files. Unless it's to do with fetch content. Fetch CMake fetch content installing source. Disable install for fetch content. Also installs all the CMake files. Yeah, it's got to rebuild everything. That's quite funny. You can fit a short into 3 minutes now on YouTube as well. So you could properly, they could commit to the shorts algo. NeoVim's great as getting started, and there's loads of LSPs and support for different languages. I'd be very surprised if you couldn't get Java and Groovy autocomplete in it. I'd be very surprised if there's no Java or Groovy devs out there who have solved this problem. So, hang on, feel free to have a look at my, is it not dot? My dot files? Bang dot files. I really should know the commands that I've written. There you go. That uses Kickstart, which is quite easy to set up for different languages. We're nearly there, guys. We're nearly there. Need more RAM, more CPUs. I've got a bucket of it in the garage somewhere. I just need to pour some more in the top. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of other CPack stuff I need to include. Ninja's pretty good. It shouldn't be. It should be using all the cores. The runtime is what's missing. Interesting. Okay, so now now that this is built, there's nothing in the bin directory here, which I find strange as well. There's a I don't think the mic picks it up, but there is a air bubble in my water cooler, and when it starts getting hot, it starts ticking really loudly. So that's how I know the computer's doing something, because the ticking gets louder and louder. Let's just try installing this. Oh, I've literally just, I've no. Hang on a second. Include jolts. Asimp. Oh, god damn it, Gmod and Gtest. Why are you there? I've literally. Let me just double check this based on something else I've found. Get properties. Oh, hang on. Have I goofed? Should this actually be get. I'm not going to do a full rebuild. Don't worry. Replace make available with get properties. If it's not populated, populate it. Add the subdirectories. Exclude from all. Oh, interesting. I'm now actually executing this where I wasn't before. Interesting. Okay, so that was part of the mistake. So let's do install and then rmrf test and that. Oh, okay, right. It's gone. It's gone. It was this. I was right probably about 20 minutes ago, but I fat fingered it in and got it wrong. So all these now need to become. What else was it? Was it Jolt? Right, let's check this. Oh, what? Yeah, but I don't know why this is being an arse about it. Oh, because theirs is in a non-standard place, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it though? Theirs is not in the root. Their CMake lists file exists in. Where is their CMake lists? Build. Oh, source subdir build. I've got it there. Why is that? What was it not like? The source directory. CMake's not too bad. It's just a little bit of a pain sometimes. Okay, fine. So then I remember doing this with Iris. The engine I wrote before, having tried to do this with CPack. I remember now. Let's try that. Okay, looking good. Looking good. No jolt in there. Now it's just a simp. Glad we stayed up for a few more minutes. Oh god. Jolt CFT asimp. Build. Oh yeah, I'll get rid of that. Let's see if we can get it to work first. What are the results? I feel if this works, I don't know. Okay, so the only thing in test now is this. So we should be able to just do CPack dot user bin DTRX that. Contains one directory with this message. Just extract it and rename it that. Sure, I don't care. Outrageous. I will bend CMake to my will. I will not allow CMake to beat me down. That was one of the most difficult things we've had to solve, which is quite sad. Okay, I'm pleased with that. I'm actually pleased with that because that is exactly what I wanted. Obviously, I've still got to package up the resources and get all that in there and do blah, 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 blah. But well, all that asset pack is going to get bundled into the exe eventually, I think. I might include like, I might bundle in like a custom levels directory with like an example Lua in there, and then in that directory you can maybe drop your own Lua levels in, just so it's easy for people to try playing around with their own. Honestly, like 40 minutes to get that, I'm sure people have spent more. Right, let's comment this up. It is really not. Oh, the diff is so small. I don't think I even want that, do I? That was that's just a white space change. Literally took us nearly an hour to write. Like probably like 20 lines to CMake. Add CPack. Stream 55. Stick it in the git hole. Right, I'm gonna have a beer. I'll hang around for a bit on Discord, have a chat, see what people want to do. Wednesday should be streaming again. We will go and I think we need to just spend some time and fix up some of the debt in the resources. So for instance, none of the Lua files or the shaders or anything like that are in the resource pack. We need to add some new types to the TLV. We need to stick them in there. We need to wire that up, smooth over some of the code that's around that, and then compress it, and then shove it into the executable, and then have the executable know to unshove it at runtime. And then once that's done, I'll probably just manually release them somewhere to Discord to start with, but then we can automate that later. Unpack and decompress, correct. Yes, we should do both those in that order. What was the issue? The issue was fetch content. The default settings for fetch content forces the includes that they bring in from that third-party project to be included in the install command. Possibly because it's all part of the all. They get added to the all target and you install all by default, which CPack was then basically honoring. So it wasn't CPack's fault, it was the way we'd configured install. So what we had to do was manually say how we wanted to resolve the property, populate the repository, the third-party repository, and then manually add subdirectory. So by default, add subdirectory gets called for you if you do make properties, but if you do get properties and populate, we can then add the subdirectories ourselves and do exclude from all. And I've done this before, so I should have known this. Well, I kind of knew this, and it didn't work, and it's just because I fat-fingered it. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I've put a few tickets on AC's Jira to set up some additional channels, so don't you worry. AC's on it. It's I'll make sure it gets into his next sprint. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have a beer. I might play some Factorio. I'll be around on Discord, and I'll see you guys anon.